Hi, what's up everybody and welcome back. Did you know that the Bible says that it is actually better to never know God rather than to know him and reject him? So in 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 21 it says, "It would be better if they had never known the way to righteousness than to know it and then reject the command they were given to live a holy life." So Peter is writing to Gentile Christians, right? And he's telling them that it is better to never have known God rather than to, if you had known God and you followed him and then turned back to your old ways, it is better to just have never known him, because it is no longer just being rebellious, it is rejecting God's commands. So an example of this today would be if your boyfriend or girlfriend or your wife or husband was going out to the bar or to the club every weekend and you told them, you were like, "Hey, I don't want you doing that every weekend. Do you mind stopping?" And they're like, "Yeah, of course, I'll stop for you, anything for you." And then the next weekend they went anyways, you would feel like, "Oh, wow, you really don't care about me. Like, you do not care about anything that I have to say." And that's kind of how God feels. He's like, "You're just rejecting me. You don't care about me," is what it seems like. And so God's saying it's better if you just never knew him, because that is awfully rude and rebellious, and you're just rejecting him in general. So just imagine how terrible he feels whenever we keep falling back into our old ways and living for the world instead of living for him. Revelation 3, verse 15 and 16 it's a letter writing to the church of Laodicea, and it says that it's better to be cold or hot than to be lukewarm. So cold being you don't know God at all, hot being you're really strong with God, and lukewarm being you're on the fence between good and evil. Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're bad, because it's better to either know God and live for him or to not know God and not live for him because you don't know him than it is to know God and simply reject his love and his goodness. That is just completely disrespectful, and that is how most Christians are living today. We all are simply just living in your sin, even though you know that God is real. You grew up in a Christian household. That is mostly in the South. Like in Texas, it's very common for kids to grow up in church, yet they still live in their sin. And that's not good. The Bible says that that's worse than not knowing God at all. Romans 6:16 through 18 says that we were once slaves of sin, but now we are supposed to become slaves of righteousness. And John 8:34 through 36 says practicing sin makes you its slave. Only Jesus can set you free. So if you're still practicing sin, then you're a slave to it. And Jesus is the only one who can set you free from that sin. So you need to give in and go all in with Jesus, because you know he's real and you know he's the truth. You just keep living for your sin, and that's not okay. So go all in and live for Jesus fully with all your heart and your soul and your mind. Galatians 5:1 says, once you're free, don't give in. See, this goes along with a lot of stuff I've been saying, in which is just because God's grace covers everyone does not mean that we're all getting into heaven. He's saying, keep a relationship with me. Don't fall back into your sin. Go all in for me and live for me, not for your sin. So once you're free, don't fall back into your sin, into your old ways. All right, so that's all I have for today. Just remember that the more you know about God, the more you're accountable for. So stop living lukewarm, go all in, go hot, be hot for God, be on fire. You got it. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.